Licorice Pizza comes from director Paul Thomas Anderson and is getting a lot of chatter online. A lot of great chatter and a lot of controversial chatter. But how was the film? The story of Alana Kane and Gary Valentine growing up, running around and going through the treacherous navigation of first love in San Fernando Valley, 1973. I was excited for this film, even though I didn't know much about it. I saw a trailer, and I liked most of Paul Thomas Anderson's films. So I was thinking, why not? And as I stated in the intro, Licorice Pizza is getting a lot of buzz online. There are a lot of people adoring this film, saying it's the best of the year, it's going to be the front runner to win all the Oscars. And then there's a lot of controversy around this film regarding its subject matter and some things that happen throughout the film. And you know me, I go in these films just watching a film. I don't think about really anything. I just go in and go, did I like the filmmaking? Did I like the story? Did I like the characters? Did I like all this? And then I give my opinion. I give my rating. That's why you guys watch my videos. And I'm happy to say I really enjoyed Licorice Pizza. This was a classic coming-of-age story. I had a lot of fun with this film, even though there really isn't a plot. This is the type of film that I can see people seeing and being very bored because there isn't a straightforward plot. It's more about the characters and the things they do, the things they get into, their relationships. That's really the heart of the movie. And I think Paul Thomas Anderson really nailed that awkward sense of having a crush on someone or getting jealous when you see your crush or someone you really like, interacting with other people, and that feeling of awkwardness and anxiety that comes with all that. I think this film absolutely nailed that. And because of that, you get attached to the two leads with Alana Haim and Cooper Hoffman. They are fantastic together. This is some of the best chemistry I've seen all year. And the most mind-blowing part is that this is their first major role in a major film. And they absolutely crush it. Alana Haim was my favorite part about the film. She gives an absolutely wonderful performance. And I wouldn't be surprised if she gets nominated or even wins an Oscar. She was fantastic here, stole almost every scene she was in. Those two together are really the heart and soul of this film. But that's not surprising. The cinematography here is off the charts. I love this style of directing. It feels very vintage. It takes place in the early 1970s, and the way it's filmed and some of the shots, it just feels very 1970s. And the style of the film just really added on to the experience, and it was wonderful. I just really got wrapped up in the experience and found myself having a lot of fun with this film, even though not much happens. There are a lot of random sequences that happen, but they feel organic with what these characters are doing and the overall story. One of my favorite sequences in the whole entire film has to do with gas. People can't get gas, so they have to move a truck around some hills, and Bradley Cooper's involved. He gives probably my favorite performance from a supporting role all year. He's not in it too much, but he was fucking hilarious. I wish he was in it more. But like I said, these sequences kind of happen out of nowhere, and it's not a knock on the film. It makes the experience a lot better. It feels organic, and it's a lot more fun, and honestly, it keeps things unpredictable. You really don't know what's going to happen next. This film is also hilarious. There are so many funny sequences, funny lines, funny performances. It's just a wonderful experience. But I'll get to my issues now. This film isn't perfect. It's not like the greatest thing ever made like everyone is saying online. I think that it's a little bit too long. They should have shaved some things down in like the last act. Because the first two acts, I was completely invested. And then the last act of the film, things slow down. I feel like there's some things you could have taken out to make the pacing a little bit better. And the film wouldn't feel as long. Also, with the ending, I don't know how I feel about it because I'm reading online that there's different interpretations of it. My interpretation is one thing, and I feel like it's pretty cut and clear, like what happened. Maybe I'm just dumb, but my interpretation of that ending, if that's how it actually ended, I'm like, really? I don't know. I just feels a little unbelievable. I get they've built to that moment, and I get what they're saying. Like, that kind of works. But I think if they went a different route, the ending would have been a little bit more believable, and also, I think, would have been more effective. But I'm reading online, there's different ways people are interpreting it, so I could be completely wrong how I interpreted. But the way I interpreted, I don't know, it didn't really work for me, which sucks because when a film can't nail the ending, sometimes you look back on the film and it brings down the experience a little bit. This film is definitely controversial because of the plot. I won't talk about it because it would be spoilers if you really have no idea what this film is about. But I understand. I get it. It's definitely weird. It's definitely a big no-no. You can't do that shit. And I was uncomfortable some parts of the film. But I don't think that's the main message that Paul Thomas Anderson wants people to take away from this film. There are some things I wish they did a little bit differently, and it kind of ties together with how I feel about the ending. But overall, I really did enjoy Licorice Pizza. Just a very well-made film with wonderful performances, and one of my favorite films this year. I'm going to give Licorice Pizza 9 Davy Daves. I'm glad I saw this before the year is up, before I made my top 10 of the year, because this is definitely going to go on there. Don't know where I'm going to put it, but it definitely made the list, so I'm glad I waited to see this film, and I cannot wait to make that video. But Licorice Pizza, let me know what you guys thought of it. You've seen it. I'm curious to hear, and thank you so much for watching. Click here to see more of Dave's Takes.